If you want to make realistic glass and Blender cycles, this tutorial will walk you through the exact setup step by step. Glass is one of those materials that can look either amazing or completely wrong depending on a few small settings. So in this video, I'm going to keep it simple, fast, and beginner-friendly. By the end, you'll know how to create clean, transparent glass, how to add thickness for better refraction, and how to set up cycles so your renders look more natural. If this video helps, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more Blender tutorials. Let's jump in. First, select the object you want to turn into glass. This could be a cup, a window, a bottle, a sphere, or any model that needs a transparent material. Once your object is selected, go over to the Material Properties panel and click New to create a fresh material. Blender will automatically give you a principled BSDF shader, and that is exactly what we want for this setup. Now let's adjust the shader settings. Set the base color to white, then take transmission and increase it all the way to 1. This is the key setting that makes the material behave like glass instead of plastic or metal. Next, set roughness to 0 if you want clear glass. If you want frosted or slightly blurry glass, you can raise the roughness a little bit. But for now, keep it at 0 so you can see the clean version first. After that, set the IOR, which stands for Index of Refraction, to around 1.45. That value is a very common starting point for realistic glass and gives you a believable bending of light. At this point, your object will already look more like glass in cycles. But there is one very important thing that many beginners miss: thickness. Real glass has volume, and without thickness, refraction can look flat or unnatural. To fix that, go to the Modifiers tab and add a Solidify Modifier. Set the thickness to about 0.02 depending on the scale of your scene. If your object is very large or very small, you may need to adjust that value slightly, but the goal is to give the mesh real physical depth. This helps light pass through the surface properly and makes the glass look much more realistic. Now let's improve the render settings and cycles. Go to Render Properties and make sure your render engine is set to cycles. If you have a GPU available, switch to GPU Compute for faster rendering. That can make a huge difference when you are testing materials and lighting. Next, adjust your samples. For viewport rendering, something like 64 to 128 samples is a good starting point. For final renders, you can use anywhere from 128 to 512 depending on how clean you need the image to be. More samples will reduce noise, especially in glass scenes where light is bouncing through transparent surfaces. Then go down to the Light Bounces section and increase transmission bounces to around 8 to 12. This tells cycles how many times light can pass through transparent surfaces like glass. If this value is too low, your glass may look dark, broken, or unnatural. If you want even more realism, you can also enable caustics, but keep in mind that this can increase render time. So if you are just learning, you can leave that off for now and turn it on later when you want extra realism. Lighting is just as important as the material itself. A glass object without good lighting often looks invisible or flat, so try using an HDRI for realistic reflections. HDRIs give you natural environment lighting, which makes the glass pick up highlights and reflections much better. Also, try to avoid very sharp shadows if you want a cleaner glass look. Soft light usually works best. If your glass still looks too plain, add a light behind it or around it so the refraction becomes easier to see. A simple rim light or a bright background can instantly make the object pop. If you want frosted glass, go back to the material and raise the roughness slightly. Even a small change can soften the reflections and give you that cloudy, blurred look. If you want crystal clear glass, keep the roughness at 0 and make sure the object has enough thickness. Also double check that your model normals are facing the right direction, because incorrect normals can cause strange shading issues in transparent materials. So to recap, the basic workflow is simple. Select your object, create a new material, set principled BSDF with transmission at 1, roughness at 0, and IOR at 1.45. Then add a Solidify modifier for thickness. And finally, tune your cycle's render settings and lighting for the best result. That is the core process for making glass and Blender cycles. If this tutorial helped you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next Blender tips and tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.